So while I'm trying to get myself settled in, working out in this rain today, you could probably hear all the background noise of everything. What I don't know what my neighbor's up to. I feel like that might be coming next door, but I don't never necessarily have a problem with them. It's the upstairs. Good afternoon. You already know who it is. It's Target Individual CJBK. They tried taking me out this morning and this afternoon and on my way home on the train. Let's see. Well, right now, I'm trying to actually just draw some of this energy that they have, these frequencies, or rather the infrared laser that's beaming into my heart right now. As always, you got to remember that, your cell phone is basically a weapon because of the sensors built into it, and because of everything from quantum entanglement to the digital infrastructure, and then also understanding how wireless energy transfer works, and frequency resonance, bio-coded frequencies. Basically what they're doing is, let me see. So it's like all of the sensors, or rather it's because it's like when I move my hand, it's like there's one there, 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 there. It's basically all around. But when you think about the sensors of the phone, and this is an iPhone SE, when you think about the sensors of the phone, if you stand back, each one of those sensors or each one of those beams can basically carry energy or radiation. And then what it does, it's like, even though it's kind of spread out like this, it kind of like, it like focuses directly like right here. So it almost feels like heartburn, or even better, what it feels like is as if someone took a needle and put it on a fire. They took a syringe and put it on a fire and just started poking you real slowly in your heart. And then on top of that, started jiggling it around like it has a vibration to it. Let me see. Now, these members of the secret society, they're saying you're setting yourself up for failure. Well, I think not, seeing how I'm able to find military grade documents explaining much of this technology. And then, let alone the people who are using this technology, they are also very much a part of, let's say, criminal-minded people, and then I don't know. I'm gonna just say they're part of the occult. They're like Luciferians. They don't like to believe that they're Luciferians because they think secret society has a much better ring to it. But when you learn about the basics of most secret society, the basics, they're rooted. They're rooted in Luciferianism. Why? Because the only way that you truly are to gain power the way that they do in this world is if you were to give yourself over or praise Lucifer or the fallen angels, so that you can manifest and learn how to make yourself more knowledgeable than others or powerful than others in some way, shape, or form. Now, I did this because it's like you can't see it, but the beams are all around here, and then it kind of wraps around here. But the strongest of them the strongest of the beams are more like it's like right here. Now, as I'm going over my heart with my hand, I am tensing my hand up, so I'm kind of almost basically like increasing the magnification or I guess the magnetic pull. I'm increasing the magnetic pull in my hand so I could try to redirect some of the energy away from my heart. This may also be known as a form of Reiki. Now, if I turn my palm outwards towards the phone, I really feel the beams really come into contact with my palm. And then when I move my palm towards the phone, I really feel the energy going into the palm. Now they've been doing this to me for a couple years now. They've been doing this to me, but I haven't like really gotten into the know of how to truly use my my own body's energy field to really create a much better shield. But then you also got to remember, every day we're being poisoned through the chemtrail spraying, the barium, the aluminum, the nanometals, all these different things, even fungus, aerosolized fungus or fungi. Everything's aerosolized. So once it's sprayed up in the air, it floats down, and it basically, with all the, I guess with all the magnetic energy around, some of these particles, they just basically sit. They just sit in the air, and they build, and they're absorbing charges. So then whenever they want to decide to I don't know what it looks like on their screen. In my mind, I'm thinking like, okay, so let's say I'm sitting in this room right now. Let's just take this for example. I'm in this room right now. The only thing that's plugged up or that has a charge to it right now is that lamp, this phone, that lamp in my kitchen, and the refrigerator. Other than that, those are the only things that run on electricity that are, at least in this room, that is creating an electromagnetic field of radiation right now. Imagine, okay, I'm going to show you This is an electromagnetic radiation tester. Now, as you can see, that's the electric radiation just coming from the phone itself. The threshold is 40 volts, right? 40 volts. I forgot what the M is. Yeah, so you see, I'm not even touching the phone. Oh, I'm not even touching the phone. That's how close I am, and that's the reading. Now, if I go closer, look at the numbers soar, right? So basically, I could be standing right here, even though I'm supposed to be at a safe distance from here. What they'll do is, think about it. That phone basically has like this. It has like a aura, or like a energy, a radiation ball around it. What they basically do, and this is how I'm seeing it in my mind because I don't know what their monitors look like or what they're seeing, is like they basically form a beam from out of that radiation ball, and then they like kind of like move it across through air where it doesn't necessarily lose charge at all. Why? Probably because of all the nanoparticles that's floating in the air right now, and each of these nanoparticles are basically holding a charge. So that way, as it's traveling through the air, it doesn't lose charge because there's so much charge already in the air. And then that beam, as it's going through the air, it then, and it's hitting right here. If they wanted to use, oh, this is probably a good one too, because I feel that one coming on. I feel energy building up in my left kidney. So, and even this, because it has a battery inside, they can use this as a weapon too. Anything that's electronic, anything that runs on electricity, even someone else's heart, because we are made of electricity. So basically what they're doing, this now, I'm not even touching the lamp. Right? This is sitting in open space. And I'm not even touching the lamp. And it's tall too. So it's like the radiation, let me see. So it's like, think about it like this. There's probably like a whole like circle or sphere of radiation energy around that lamp. What they're doing right now, live, is they're taking the energy particles, the charged particles from this sphere, and they're attaching it. They're directing it into my left kidney. I could take my right hand and go over this, and I could feel the radiation coming off of even this EMF tester. As a matter of fact, they just formed a beam from it too. I feel it. They just formed a beam from it. So now it's trying to go to a specific spot. So right now it's in my palm, and they're directing it around. I don't know where they're trying to put it. It's like they're trying to go behind me. It's like they it started here and then it started going around like this. So it's like they're trying to go behind me. I don't know where they're trying to put that one, but anyway. So I'm dealing with that right now. I really despise doing deliveries in the rain. Doing deliveries in the rain is not great at all. It's annoying. You're getting wet. Oh, so what I just did too, shungite. This is a slab of shungite, right? Shungite is a natural mineral that basically absorbs energy. It absorbs, it attracts it. So what I did now, just by placing it, just by placing the phone on top of it, it doesn't absorb all of it, but it absorbs a good amount of that that radiation field around the phone. It's still high. Yeah, but it's also plugged into the wall too. Right now it's reading 300. Oh, they're trying to turn it down as I'm. So right now it's reading like 300 and about 300 and. Oh wait, nope. So it's fluctuating, which means they're trying to control the amount of energy is coming off of it. So right now it's reading at oh, it's going up, it's going up, it's going up. We're in the 500s now. 537, 537, 547, 50. It was at 550, 558, 568. You see, I'm not moving it. 580, 590. This is what I'm telling you. They're literally forcing, and they even destroyed. They destroyed my my Clarifion air purifier, and what this was supposed to do, when you plug it into the wall, it surprisingly, it actually when you plug it into the wall, it absorbs. I think it intakes or absorbs negative charges through this bottom here, like negative charged particles through the bottom, and then it pumps out positive charge particles or ions in the air. And what it does, it basically charges the dust and like I guess other things that may be airborne, and then make it heavier so that it falls to the ground rather than they would still be in a airborne state where you're just breathing in these particles. And when you breathe these particles in, it affects your respiratory, it affects your heart, it affects your mind. But now this doesn't even work anymore, because to know that it works, you would see a blue light come on. And if you don't see a blue light come on, I'm pretty sure that's a clear telltale sign that it doesn't work anymore. Then also, this little part right here, this little side right here, you can't really see it too clearly, but Whenever one way I used to tell that this was working properly was if I move my finger along there, I would see the purple sparks of like electricity. Well, not really yeah, yeah, it would be like a spark, but yeah. Oh, and then these are shungite pyramids. My girl, she bought these. Now, I try my best to try to see if I can do it, like do a lot of things in like a more natural way without having to use things. Because you never know. You might be in a position where you don't have anything around you, and you're gonna want to be able to, um, you're gonna want to be able to know how to actually perform certain energy management things so that you can, well, manage the energy that or redirect the energy that they're using on you. But whenever I'm feeling, I guess, lazy or too tired or I can't really focus on meditating or anything like that, I would take one of these shungite pyramids and I'll place it over the spot where I'm feeling the frequencies at. So, and then after I place it there, I'm pinching it right now. I have a little tension on the pyramid, and what it has done now, it has taken on a mass weight. It has taken on the weight of the frequencies, right? Or the charge. So right now, I had it on my heart, and then while I'm applying tension to it, I pulled it away, and because I pulled it away, now the beam coming from the cell phone that was attached to my heart, it's now following the shungite. Now, not all of it is gone from me. Just only some. We have several here, so I could just take another one. I take another one, place it on various parts of the heart. I gotta use the bathroom, that's why I'm rocking like this. And then also what I've been feeling a lot more lately is the feeling of like, and this is how I realize that there's definitely a strong magnetic energy like coming down on my body. So at this moment, what it feels like for me is as if like if someone had like a giant finger, like a huge giant finger of like electromagnetic energy, right? And they're like doing this, they're like trying to press me down. They're like trying to press me down into the earth. So there are moments where I feel like almost as if my knees are buckled, like my knees will buckle, and sometimes they would send energy pulses that are so strong where it would feel like a wall crashed on my brain, not even the skull or the skin, like it completely bypassed it completely bypassed the skull, and it's just straight brain contact and it's just to the point where like I've felt hit so hard that when I felt it, not only would my whole body would just kind of bend down like that, it rocked me so hard that even my vision shook. Even my vision has shook. And you would think that, oh, we would be using this we would be using this technology to actually defend defend the citizens of America. No, 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 no. These are citizens within America using this technology on other citizens. There is no such thing as patriotism anymore. There is no such thing as patriotism. When there are people who are basically dead in their transgressions, there are people who are basically slaves to corporations or money. There is no patriotism. Like I don't know, like for me personally, I kind of lost a lot of the rah spirit I've had for many years when it came to like social injustice. Um, you know, America is the greatest and all this stuff, because over time you start to see a lot of the facades, man. Over time you start to see so much that's wrong, and it seems like everyone is just trying to like, well, survive it. People know it's happening, but they're just trying to like, hey, I don't know anything. I'm just trying to take care of my family. At what expense though? I mean, I'm trying to take care of my family too, but it doesn't mean I'm not doing anything wrong to anyone. I'm not out here committing crimes and assaulting people, robbing people, raping people, kidnapping children, doing blood sacrifices on people. I'm not doing any of that. But yet, I'm trying to fight for my own free will to say that I do not consent to being experimented on. Rather, I do not consent to being a digital slave to anyone. Um, and the people who basically have hacked my biofield, they always like to say, oh, um, they always like to say, oh, um, you have no respect for other people's property. It took me a while to get it, but that's because I wasn't thinking from a very very technological perspective. Every single person, every single person, especially in metropolitan areas, heavy metropolitan areas, all have one of these. Now, I know you can't see it, but you got to remember, infrared you can't see with the naked eye. Infrasound, sounds that are above or below the human hearing range, you can't necessarily hear it yourself, but your brain is still picking it up. On the right hemisphere of the brain, probably just before the frontal lobe, maybe in a primary motor cortex or the prefrontal cortex, there is a beam, like a frequency, or like an energy beam, or like an infrared light. It's so small, and it's right here. It's like literally like right here, and it doesn't change position. It's always going at this same like what angle would you say that is? That's 90. So I'd say like a 45-degree angle. It's always at this same 45-degree angle, and it goes out. And no matter where you move, it doesn't change positions. It stays in the same position. It doesn't move. No matter where you go, you bend down, you move around, it does not change position. Now you got to remember, your aura, your energy field basically expands about, I've heard about 12 feet from your body. But I used to kind of think it was like 6 feet from the body, but some people say it expands about 12 feet from the body. So with all the satellites and sensors and cell towers and all these different other things that are basically scanning scanning um, for frequencies. This is how they create the node. Somewhere in the metaverse, it's basically like The Sims and Sid Meier's Civilization. Your biocoded frequency of your biofield of your energy, and remember, within your energy field are frequencies to every single thing in your body. And these sensors are scanning, or rather extracting or transmitting to you or from you information about your body, information about your thoughts, information about your emotions. They are taking these electrical impulses, converting it from electrical impulses to radio frequencies, so that they can basically transmit it to a cloud server, where then software is then converting these radio frequencies into computer binary. Only something that AI and a quantum computer could do. But how does people get their hands on something like this? That's the bigger question. Because we already know this, that every, let's say, powerful nation has this technology. Every powerful nation has this technology. Russia, China, Japan, Australia, people out in some countries out in the Middle East, because there are people being targeted all throughout the world. And not only are they just basically taking this information and storing it on the cloud, but they're basically selling you. They're selling access to you to other people. Not other people that are like normal people, whatever, but they're selling access to you to other augmented humans. I don't even like calling them humans anymore, because once they had changed their DNA just so that they can become augmented and have super hearing, super memory, super sight, super, whatever, you're no longer human. You are no longer of God's creation. And this is why I find it even better, because I'm like, you know how many times there's been civilizations that have done just the same thing to try to make themselves into gods, and then look what happened. We still got archaeologists digging up their whole existence. So I don't know, we need to get to a point where we're no longer looking to become greater than God. But that's going to be hard to do, because, well, there's a lot of hurt people and a lot of scared people in this world. So they were basically beaming my heart, and they're still beaming my heart right now, actually. I'm gonna try to take one of my radiation salt baths. I feel like I'm gonna need it. Yeah, so it's like the energy that's all around my heart right now That's like, yeah, I could feel it, especially all on this side too. But obviously, my phone's right here, so. And also, I have my phone plugged into the charger, so the cord itself is generating a field too. The cord itself basically has an electromagnetic radiation coming off of it. So I'm gonna just hold it up, right? I'm gonna hold up the phone. Trying to see. Okay. So I'm holding the phone. I'm holding up the cord. So that's how much radiation is just coming from the cord alone. Right. I can't make this stuff up. I really can't. Now, here's also something else that I do. And I try to remind myself to do this because it's important. It's this thing could possibly save your life one day. And it's not expensive at all. It's really not. This is my makeshift grounding. This is my makeshift grounding pad. So basically this is two sheets of copper, and aluminum foil, alligator clamp, some copper wiring, preferably insulated, and then I just attached some other piece of magnet on the other end of the wire. Then what I do, I just take it and I clip. I clip both the copper sheet and the aluminum foil at the same time. Now I can feel all of the energy. I could feel all the charge that they were building up in me. I could literally feel all the charge moving from this side of my body and going into my right arm and going into this, because my thumb and my fingers are touching the copper and the aluminum foil, but it's also carrying that charge through the wire, and then the other end is actually going into this little piece here. So what I do sometimes, what I'll do, I would stand on it. The moment I stand on it, all of that energy, all of that charge, I mean, I still feel a little bit on my heart, but it's not as much as it was before when I first, when I was on the train, and then it definitely, definitely not as much as it was when I was on the train. And yeah, so I could feel like the sensor from the phone. It's a very fine beam, and it's going into possibly my what they call it, it's either my right ventricle or right is it atrium or aorta. It's either my right ventricle or my right, I think it's the right ventricle. Right ventricle is at the top part. So there are about like 4 or 5 like little fine beams of energy going into my right ventricle now. Now as I'm doing this is basically like grounding. Well, this is grounding. You know, I'm basically trying to discharge all of that buildup. And now, as I did that, as I'm doing this, they're trying to basically send powerful pulses of energy into the brain. So there's one beam, like I believe that the one that's over here on the prefrontal cortex, I think that's the main beam because there's like a dent. There's like a little dent inside, like I don't even have to press hard to feel it. It's almost as if like someone drilled a hole through my skull. And when I place my finger right on that dent, I could feel like this pressure almost kind of relieved. Oh, all right, let me just. Ooh. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Much better, much better. So that's that. So, and then what I'll do sometimes with that grounding platform I made, I would just like sit on like a chair, like a non-metal chair, preferably, and I just place my feet on it. The other thing, that's 1, 2, 3. Now I have to do these over. I have to make these over again. But these are neodymium magnets taped together so that they're actually repelling, right? But I have to do these over and use something a lot better that can keep them stabilized in the center. Basically, I took I took several neodymium magnets and I taped them together to make a wand. I got this idea from Tony Pantalleresco and Herbs Plus Beads work. Basically, what you would do, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stand on here. You put one on one side of your body, put the other on the other side, and for the third one, you can either put it behind you or you can put it in front. Make sure, they're making contact with your skin, because remember the energy that they're using, it's basically like a layer over your skin. It's like imagine when you're in the shower and you see the water running down your skin. So imagine all electricity, all of this electromagnetic, this synthetic energy is just basically running over your entire skin. Remember that scene from the first Matrix when Neo stuck his finger in the mirror, and then when he pulled back, the mirror came off, but then all of a sudden it started to like go up his arm and start to cover his whole body. That's literally what they have. But when I put these repelling wands on, these repelling magnetic wands on, I feel like it creates a break. Like it creates like it's as if like when you place a rock in a stream, or like see how it's raining outside. It's like when you place a rock in a stream, or in that downstream, and like the water then begins to go around the rock. But in this case, I think with these magnets, it's creating a repulsing magnetic field. So because I'm placing it on my body and is making contact with the body, it's actually creating a repelling magnetic field around me. Yeah. So they still have quite a bit of energy on my heart. I think they're trying to take me out, but God willing, I got to keep going because only God knows when our last days are going to be, and we don't know when we're going to go. So we can't allow ourselves to fear something we don't know when it's going to happen. So I just keep going. They tried to take me out of my sleep this morning, and I woke up from it, and I just started praying. I started, asking, God and the watchers, the holy angels, to, whatever they're doing, make sure they don't get away with it. Make sure that whatever they're doing to me, it's done back unto them tenfolds. And you always got to remember, none of us were promised a life without pain or suffering. None of us. The only reason they seem like they're not in pain or suffering is because they gave themselves over to the rulers of the earth. And those rulers are the ones who can no longer go back to heaven. They are the ones. They are the the godlike beings that cannot go back to heaven. They can't even see God's face anymore. Maybe Lucifer, because Lucifer was one of God's I guess favorite angels at one point. But the rest of them, well, I don't think they can. I don't even think they could stomach looking up towards heaven. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end it there. I thought about putting on one of these. This was something else that I would do too. This is a lead vest, or a lead apron rather. So if I'm feeling, like I said, I'm feeling the attacks on my heart, what I'll do is I could literally just put this on too. I could put this on and boom. It's almost instantaneous that all that energy that I was feeling on my heart, it just started to go. Like it just started to and like, it's like I feel the temperature of the beam trying to pass through the lead, or it's actually, I don't know if it's trying to pass through it or if it's just like, because like I could feel the thermal presence of the sensors basically still like resonating with my heart energy. And it's kind of going on like it's forming a circle around the heart. But if I press the lead flush against my skin, I think it causes a pretty good interference. But then you also got to remember what they basically do is whatever material that you're trying to use as a shielding or block, they just change the amplification of the frequency, or they change the power behind the frequency, so then it can carry more energy and basically throw off the natural energy flow of whatever they're resonated with. And then like we also have like these lead caps. The lead caps I don't think work too well, especially if you have a lot of hair. Because one thing I realize about most of these things is whether it's whether it's for shielding or grounding, if it doesn't make direct contact with the skin, it's not going to draw as much as it should. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut down now, cause yeah, time for me to take my bath, and I need to like relax and try to get some of this frustration from the work day off. And it's crazy because it's like I remember like I like doing double routes in the same window, and then possibly be able to miss the next truck, and then I'll take 2 on that 3rd truck, and then, you know, if I can do the 4th truck, then cool. If not, I'm cool with it anyway. I did my 4 routes. Today was different because it's raining. So that means a lot of people like to call out from work because they don't like to work in the rain. So I ended up doing 6 routes today. And I was not intending on doing 6. At least not in the time frame that I ended up having to do it. I did 2 routes for the 5 to 7, 2 routes for the 9 to 11, and then all of a sudden I get sent 2 routes for the 11 to 1, and I'm like, oh man, I was hoping to miss that one because one of the head of operations guys, he had asked me if I could stay later and help out doing some deliveries, and I was like, I already see where this is going. I know it's raining, and it's raining hard. Oh, after doing them 6 routes, and of course, while I was trying to pack up my packages for my 11 to 1 route, they basically were using my phone. Of course, I had my phone like plugged up several feet away from me, right? While I couldn't even charge it because the phone was detecting water damage, so I couldn't even charge it. But I had it plugged up several feet away from me, and all of a sudden I'm feeling like, and they used to do this quite a bit, especially when I was still a walker. I started feeling like almost as if like someone was taking a screwdriver and they was just like stabbing me right in the joint where the I forgot what the head of the femur, the knob, where it goes right into the hip socket, almost as if like someone was taking a screwdriver and just like jamming it, like they were just like jamming it. Every time I moved a certain way, it would only be like if I moved a certain. It wasn't like I'm sitting still, but it was more like if I moved a certain way, it felt like someone was taking the screwdriver and just jamming it right into the groove. And I took my hand and I'm like, where the hell is it coming from? Because it hurts. And I'm like going like this. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, the phone. Because remember, your phone is a personal server. Your phone is a personal server to your entire body. Everything about your body, your phone has already scanned and decoded, and basically everything about your entire body is in your phone. So, and if you think I'm lying, all you gotta do is look up home care monitoring and then look up low power wide area body network. Look at what they're doing for supposed, homebound patients that can't get to their doctor's office or to the hospital. Look at the setup. Just look at the setup. They say, oh, your phone works as a personal server, and it can read your vital signs and take that data and transfer it to a remote server. Well, then someone at a remote location, they can look at your vital signs and they can do this, and then they can send information from there, and then it'll reach the phone, and then all this different stuff. I'm telling you. But yeah, I'm gonna go take my bath. I need to call my girlfriend, see how she's doing, because she was like, her phone was at like 2%. She was having problems trying to charge her phone. I probably wouldn't have mind doing another route, honestly, but my phone was messing up. And the last time when I tried to do the 2 routes for that last window, they were basically blasting my hip, and I started telling myself, well, you know what? If they ask me if I could do another route, I'm gonna just be real with them. I can't, because the secret society don't want me working anymore. You know, the secret society doesn't want me working, doing any more routes. They deem that I've worked enough routes. Why? Because they want to make sure that I don't make too much money. They want to make sure that I am always doing what they want of me to some degree or fashion. So, yeah. All right. Take life one breath, one thought, one step, one day at a time. Peace.